All right, so we're going to talk about Agile methodology real quick. So this was created 2001 by 17 software engineers. They realized that there should be a better way of implementing project whereby the priority is on the product itself, not just on documentation. And there are some principles they put together all over the world. And in the next couple of years, it's been adopted by 71% of global organizations, which is a big feat in general, right? So the agenda will talk about intro to Agile, the principles, some user stories, then some real world application in general. So let's get into the details of it. The whole concept is really time boxing project. What does that mean? Don't overthink it. You might hear the word sprint. You might hear the word time boxing. You might hear the word iteration. They use them interchangeably. So if they say, well, you're doing sprint planning, iteration planning, time boxing, all we are saying is that you're breaking the project into small chunk. For example, we are building Geotella right now. Our first part might be develop the database at the back end, right? So it means week one might focus on building the database, interfacing it, at the early stage. So end of the week, we might do like a demo to see what we've done, right? But the reality is that you might not see anything visually, right? Week two might be another iteration because we finished the first part. The next iteration might be now you're showing us login by the user. You're breaking it down. We are now seeing it in tangible format. The beautiful thing about that is that when you do that, the business, which is us, can easily tell if we're on the right track or not and give you live feedback. Because for every user story in Agile, the product owner must accept it. For example, if you create a login, username, password, I go in as the product owner, I test it. After I test it, I would say I approve it or not. That approval is very, very important because remember, I represent the business. So it means the approval is like the gospel. If the product owner does not approve it, does not buy into it, then there's a bigger problem, right? Then it talks about value driven. It's focused on value. Agile is about value. We're talking about incremental growth in smaller pieces, growing. Then adaptive in nature, meaning at some point we might make some changes along the line as we build the solution in general. Okay. So let's talk about some history of the manifesto, right? We talk about it 2001. These 17 software engineers gathered in Utah, Snowbird. They responded to waterfall limitation, which was just too lengthy in nature, very conventional, frustrating for your leaders. Then it's a evolution of a lightweight methodology where we say, okay, let's use some method in Agile. Some of the method in Agile would include XP, extreme programming, meaning sometimes people want to do it so quick. They might, instead of having your iteration planning for a week or 2 weeks, the standard mostly you will hear is 2 weeks, in bigger organization. So we do like 2 week sprint. 2 week sprint means we would have committed to doing some task in 2 weeks. If it's a very urgent project, we use XP, which is we try to limit it to more frequent iterations. Okay. So if you're building like our project in this Geotella might be 5 sprints, technically because our own sprint is 1 week. So it means it's a 5 weeks sprint we would have in the project. So every week we would have a demo for 5 weeks. That's what it means. Because for every week you're showing me what you did to demonstrate it for us to see it. And some of the demo might not mean there is anything in it because the first week I expect it to be laying down the background, development stuff, but you still show us that you've made progress. That's the whole idea about it. Okay. The manifesto. This is a big one. Let's talk about the manifesto in simple terms. So it talks about individual and interaction, meaning Agile is one of those areas that it encourages a lot of interaction. Before COVID, a popular thing for Agile is we're always in the office. We meet for daily Scrum. The Scrum is just a time every one of us we meet and we for 15 minutes. Everybody within 15 minutes max, everybody will give us their status update. That's all. Sometimes your status update is that yesterday I took a note on following up on this. Today I'm still working on it, and that's it. Then tell us if there's a roadblock. That's it. Maximum for the team meeting is 15 minutes daily. That's it. If it passes 15 minutes, we call it 16-minute, meaning we end the meeting, then whoever is meeting one on one, let them go meet. But 15 minutes is the max. We are not going to go more than 15 minutes. It's part of the agile principle and it must be followed. The second thing is working software, meaning we don't care about all these big complications. It's about the workability. If you have a functionality, is it working? So, let's go to Jotella. If I have a Jotella and I'm saying I want to be able to log in and share a feature, a location on my social platform, is it working? That's it. And you and I would know if it's working or not, right? It's straightforward. Customer collaboration, meaning at the end of the day, there's no product without the collaboration. Remember, at the end of the day, product is like a baby. End to end, you have to nurture the baby, make sure they are fine and it's okay. So the nurturing must be there. The collaboration is the core of Agile. Responding to change, let's pause. This is where it gets tricky for developers. Chinley might, relate with this. In the past, if you go meet a developer and say, hey, we want to make a slight change, this is in the past. The person might tell you, well, it was not part of what you put in the scope. The problem with that approach is that it builds bad blood over client and customer relationship because now it becomes like transactional. You're not thinking of the product and making the change in the interest of the product. So it's smart to embrace the change, many times if it's not going to be very significant out of the order, because the essence is to make the product better. That's the whole idea. But in the past, and I used to be in consulting world, right? In the past, if you make such a change, we will now raise a change request, ask you to pay more money. Now, the customer is already pissed off that, wait a minute, I thought we are partners. Now, because there's a change, the business need, you're telling him to make more payment. So it's just not a good feel of working, really, at the end of the day. So that's the whole gist about it. Some core values at the end of the day: customer satisfaction, we embrace change, frequent delivery. And that's why you notice every week there must be delivery. Every week, because it's agile. Every week we have to have meaningful delivery. For my folks here, besides Chinley, Fee, and whoever we assign to just provide QC testing, there will be tasks we assign to you. Some of your tasks might be you're on the social media side, you're checking influencer in that space, and you're coming up with the database of those influencer. And we are looking at the user experience sometimes. And I sent us a tool for user UX. We're going to play around different UX and test them and see which of these user experience flows better. Because think about it, for us, conversion is everything, right? We want somebody to look at the phone immediately. It's so easy. We want our grandmother to be able to use it. The way people use iPad, you give a kid iPad, they can play with it. We want our grandmother in the village. You give them this tool and they can use it. That's it. So important. The user experience must be so spotless that anybody can use it. Our grandmother and a kid that is 2 years old can use it. So that's our mindset. At the end of the day, it will be super simplistic that if you can't use it, you probably have some other deeper issues. That's the way we can prepare our mind at the end of the day. Business developer collaboration, you can tell because it's agile. That's why we brought in Chinley here and us as the business and team to collaborate because if and when it's a success, right? We all win. So we are not thinking of, oh, somebody's working. No, 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 it's a team. So we are making sure upfront we are thinking of many things, including the security element, right? At the end of the day, the compliance part of it. So we are thinking of many, many angles to get us well protected at the end of the day. All right. Some other values, we need motivated individual. You can tell that's why you see me because I'm a product person. I'll keep selling you the vision and telling you why it's important, the vision around it, the value in it. I see a lot of value in it. I travel a lot for conferences. I make a lot of international trips for conferences too. And sometimes I travel, and honest truth is that I have no clue some places I am. So most times I just, if I'm in the city, I just do like a tourist guide thing, do like a tour of the city, pay for it. But sometimes I feel like actually touring it myself and have an idea of where I am. I think it would be nice, really. But at the moment, it's just not robust without me making effort. So I see the value. Friends that I know see the value, and I hope you see the value too, right? And if you don't see the value, that's okay. Just say, hey guys, I don't see the value, but I see the value in this part. You know, that's where I kind of, and we must be honest and brutal to ourselves. Nobody likes their baby to be called ugly, right? So, sometimes you have to face the reality that, hey, I like my baby, but dude, you are ugly, right? So sometimes we look at baby and say, okay, maybe our baby is ugly, and just say, maybe we should put some makeup on this baby, to make it really work well for us at the end of the day. Then another thing is working software. We talked about that. Then sustainable pace. We're saying, you notice that we said weekly. So it means it's a pace. We have put that weekly pace, weekly pace, weekly pace. Some weeks will be more intense than others, right? I envisage by second, third week, we might have more traction of work and activity going on. So it might be a little bit more intense in terms of what we are delivering. But overall, I don't think it will be crazy, as much. Final agile value, technical excellence, we cannot play with that. And this means we have to have quality code. And for my team, that's why I said some of us will play the QC, QA role. Chinley will do an amazing job to try. It's impossible to have zero code bug, right? Most times. However, we're saying as we develop or realize there are bugs here and there, we need to quickly test, correct it immediately, right? And just work on it. We keep testing, testing, testing. There's no easy way around it. To have the quality code, we have to have the, effective testing mechanism to make sure we can, mitigate that risk. Then keep it simple. Make sure we have a self-organized process, and we do reflection. Reflection is after every sprint or iteration, we would always have a time to, you know, um, reflect as a team. And mostly the reflection will be a few minutes, 5, 15 minutes, and say, okay, what could we have done better in this last sprint? Sometimes it might be, okay, we needed to, get more information quicker. We needed to work on the user experience quicker. Whatever it is, you just reflect on it also real quick.